Republican Democratic senators seek to block Trump Saudi arms sales. Now, as you're aware, our country likes to sell weapons to the Saudi government.
The Saudi government then likes to use those weapons against
murder
countries.
innocent people.
Yep.
Republican and Democratic U.S. senators said on Wednesday they would try to pass 22 separate joint resolutions that, if passed, would block President Donald Trump's plan to complete $8 billion in military sales to Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates without congressional review.
How about just block it? Fuck the congressional review part. Just block the sale.
Yeah, let's get the benevolent dictatorship shit started. Appoint me and I'll block it right now.
Block it now.
I swear
block
to God,
it.
that's my campaign
Block
promise
it,
to
Paul.
you, Scotty. I'll block it.
All right, you got my
So
vote.
appoint me benevolent dictator of the United States with an infinite term.
As we all know, Saudi Arabia is currently engaged in a genocide in Yemen. Basically, it's primarily a starvation genocide. They're not letting any food or resources get through various blockades. And
Actually, TJ, there's a civil conflict over there.
sure,
Okay, there's a civil war going on, TJ.
yeah, civil war.
Yep.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. So
And,
genocide, TJ. I don't know. That's a strong word.
it's not
Strong
really
word.
because lots of people are dying.
Strong word, TJ.
And, as you guys know, there was a resolution to stop the genocide in Yemen, to stop
not stop.
our support of it
Yes.
through providing weapons and money and other resources to Saudi Arabia.
But money talks and bullshit walks.
Well,
so.
it passed. It was actually one of only 2 bills that Donald Trump vetoed. And it was approved bipartisanly by the Senate and the House. One of the few things that actually gained some traction, and people on both sides of the aisle agreed, mostly Democrats, but even a nice sizable chunk of Republicans.
They tried to override
Which
Trump's,
is shocking in this day and age.
They did attempt to override Trump's veto, and that failed ultimately.
Yeah, well, there's not the votes to override the veto. But,
I watched an interview with Jared Kushner
right.
that happened recently, and a big focus of the interview, I think it was with somebody from the BBC, because he's over there now.
Sure.
And he was really kind of held the fire about his Saudi connections. Not only this type of stuff, but Jamal Khashoggi's murder, and Kushner's company's direct ties to Saudi companies and stuff. All of this stuff came under question, and he answered not a single question.
Of course.
He literally would immediately launch into, he would be asked, it's everybody, all of our investigative, arms have said that Jamal Khashoggi was murdered at the behest of bin Salman.
Yes.
And you're still having a friendly relationship with him. You've brought him to absolutely no, justice for this. What do you have any thoughts on that? And he would say, well, Saudi Arabia has long been an ally of the United States, and we have a pact with Saudi Arabia that we've always intended to honor. And he was like, no, I understand that, but what about this American journalist that was literally murdered in some secret government facility,
at the behest of a
whose
foreign
body,
government.
by the way, his widow still doesn't have. He asked him about that too. He said it's very important in Muslim tradition and Christian tradition for the body to be buried. And this body has still not been released by the people that murdered him. Do you support his body being released to his widow so he can have a burial? He wouldn't say yes.
Well, it'll never happen because then it would be admitting guilt.
Right. He wouldn't say yes. He was like, I'm not going to comment on an ongoing investigation or whatever. He dodged every fucking question. So there is literally some sinister fucking connections between this White House and Saudi Arabia. If you see national politicians on both sides of the aisle making a decision to do something and then it not happening because of this one family, does that not radiate we've got, improper connections with this foreign government?
Well, let's remember though. I mean, this has been going on long before this White House was in.
Yeah, I mean
the Obama administration,
the Bush family,
maybe.
I mean, look,
Bush went to the kingdom of Saudi Arabia at the time and held the king's hand as a sign. It's a sign of
I know.
friendship. You know what I mean?
Well, we know the Bush families and the Saudi royal family are just like.
I mean, that was laid out a long time ago.
I mean, so they have deep ties to the political upper crust of American.
And they're definitely not. It's not just a Republican thing either. I know that the Clintons have ties to the Saudi royal family.
Well, they have
the Clinton Foundation.
They have a huge amount of wealth they can
Right.
throw around. They can make huge purchases from the United States from major corporations. Like, oh, Boeing needs to sell some more jets. Oh, guess what? Saudis are going to buy them.
But I mean, just the fact that they're on a level where they're not even willing to stand up for an American citizen who was fucking probably beheaded in the back room of some dank fucking facility.
Because he's not worth billions of dollars.
Obama, this is from an article by, I don't know, Jacobin Mag or something. I don't know. I've never heard of it.
Sounds like bullshit to me.
So it could be bullshit, but it says Obama kept his material support for the kingdom. He continued to ply them with military aid and weapons, including the sale of $1 billion worth of smart bombs. And
this shit has got to stop.
Obama tried to block the overwhelmingly popular 9/11 victims bill that would have allowed victims' families to sue Saudi Arabia over its role in the attacks.
Great. Thanks,
so,
Obama.
Why our White House keeps the White House under Bush, the White House under both Bushes really, and the White House under
Obama,
Trump have all seemed very willing to jump in front of a bullet for the Saudi government.
Guess who is pretty much one of the largest producers of oil in the world? TJ Natural Gas. It'd be the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia.
I can't believe it. I don't know how Clinton was on him. Probably just the same.
Let me fucking put on my conspiracy hat here for a second. Okay.
All right.
Do you guys think that there might be like a puppet, like the American government might be a puppet government of another state, possibly? Maybe not Russia. Maybe it's Saudi Arabia. Maybe what happened, because people will say like they think that the president, when he's first inaugurated, gets ushered into some back room somewhere and shown the secrets. Here's what happened to Kennedy, and here's all the fucking truth. So you better be quiet. You know what I mean? What if it's not like that? What if they're ushered into a room and fucking Ben Salman is sitting there with his dick out, and he's like, "Hello, greetings. I know this must be surprising for you." And he's like, "What, Mr. Ben Salman, sir? What's going on? You will call me king. Bend down and give me the kiss of peace."
The kiss.
I don't think it's that. I think it's basically Ben Salman and anyone who has a lot of money in the room with a suitcase. It's like, gonna play ball. And
probably.
You go,
You're probably closer to the
go,
truth. I like mine better. I like my story better.
Yours is more amusing, though. I definitely give yours.
You're probably closer to the truth.
I like yours better. I like the dick hanging out, just like it's not going to suck itself.
It is time for you to realize.
The announcement.
Pays
the announcement followed furious rejection in Congress late last month of the Trump administration's declaration that a growing threat from Iran was an emergency that forced it to sidestep lawmakers' review of major arms deals and approved. Yeah, I just love how we're always just what little fucking checks and balances there are. Every president that gets in the White House just seems to do away with more and more of them.
Let's just go ahead and become the American empire. Just get rid of the notion of the republic. Let's just follow Rome full. Let's just go full circle.
I have a contention to make here, and you can correct me if you think I'm wrong.
Okay.
This.
It's so wrong.
9/11,
Idiot.
right? After 9/11. There was a huge expansion of power of the executive branch in this country.
Yes.
When it comes to war powers.
I'm following so far.
And that created a trajectory, right? So it's like, instead of this homeostasis that we had for a while, where it's like the executive branch is checked properly, now we've got this. It's a way more powerful post than it used to be.
Well, remember,
and so everyone that sits in that seat wants more of that.
Yes.
It's created a trajectory of power that is funneled away from the legislative and the judicial and towards the executive, which is now just like sitting at the head.
Well, let me tell you.
You can't stop that. Nobody's going to roll that back.
Well, I mean, let's remember that a big part of what Obama ran on and won on is, he's like, look, this power. There's been too much power consolidated at the executive level. Bush has basically run this country like a king. I'm going to restore checks and balances. I'm going to restore transparency, and we're going to put the genie back in the fucking bottle, basically.
Right.
And
that didn't happen.
It was the opposite.
Right.
Everything that Bush did,
he continued.
That to expand presidential powers, Obama did as well.
Obama dropped an insane amount of bombs.
It was
during
shitty
his
because
presidency.
Obama, as far as his legislative accomplishments go, not very much, really, when you look back on it. But nonetheless, he did expand presidential powers.
The stripped down. You're not going to mention the stripped down, neutered blowjob to the fucking healthcare industry that was Obamacare, TJ.
I'll mention it in the context of what a lily-livered pussy Obama truly was.
In which it was anything but that.